All right, everyone. So welcome again. My name is Alfred Ayub. Tonight is going to be our MBA and Certificate Fall 2019 orientation. You can also kind of think of this as the introduction to your launch experience. I know the vast majority of you will be taking launch experience for September 7th and 8th. So again, you're going to hear a little bit more about that weekend. Not to be too repetitive, but I just want to emphasize we strongly encourage you to ask questions during this session. So if you do have any questions, please ask. It's going to enrich your experience during this orientation. In terms of who will be joining us tonight, it's going to be our fearless leader, Dean Joyce Strasser, will be here to give a nice welcome message. Associate Dean Stephen Lorenzetti will also be joining us. He is a faculty member in the Department of Management, and he's also going to be your instructor during the launch experience, so you're really going to get to know Professor Lorenzetti throughout this experience. And then we have a celebrity guest appearance as well, a surprise. Susan Sherrick-Hines is joining us to talk a little bit about entrepreneurship here at the business school. And then we will cap things off with Imran Ahmed. I know all of you know Imran because you have all spoken to Imran or corresponded with Imran over email this past summer. But Imran's going to be going into a deep dive on PirateNet, the ins and outs and everything you need to know to navigate your graduate business journey here. So without further ado, I'd like to go ahead and welcome Dean Joyce Strasser.
Thank you, Alfred. It's great to be with you, to share a few moments with you. We try not to let Alfred have a lot of caffeine. He's highly energetic. Okay, so I'm the fearless leader, but not the celebrity guest. We might have to revisit that. But in any case, it really is an honor and a privilege to be here with you tonight, virtually, and to greet you and welcome you to Stillman. I just want to start off by saying congratulations. Congratulations on your acceptance to the Stillman School of Business. This is a wonderful place. We are a family. So I'm really welcoming you to the Stillman family. My guess is that we do have a number of students, and I'm looking at the names. We do have a number of students who are continuing studies with us from undergrad to grad, so they do know this. But for those of you who do not, let me share with you a little bit about Stillman. First of all, this is an important year for me. So this is my 10th year. There'll be the start of my 10th year as Dean of the Stillman School and my 25th year as a member of the Stillman community. I'm actually with the Department of Accounting and Taxation, so do teach occasionally accounting courses and did that regularly prior to 10 years ago. But the things that really drew me to Stillman when I was a faculty member at another university and jumped ship and came over here were, first of all, this close-knit community that we offer. You will find that Stillman faculty are invested in your success. So we do think about what's best for the students, and we do want to engage students in a way that you won't see, I think, in a lot of other places. The two core pillars of our mission are, first, ethics, and secondly, applied learning, or the way we like to describe it is transforming concepts into business practice. So what this means is every day that you're in class, by the end, and I guess it would really be evenings or if you're virtual online, at your own time, but every class experience that you have, we will make sure that you've got something at the end of that experience that you can either take and apply in your current workplace, if you are in fact working, or something that will help you develop as a business professional. One of the things that we do expect of graduate students is that you're going to come ready to share your experiences. We admitted you to the program because you've got an impressive academic profile, because you've got interesting experiences, and we want you to bring that to the table. So we truly do view students as partners in this learning endeavor. And that means you're going to come, you're going to challenge one another, you're going to challenge your faculty members. So while we are honored to have you with us, we have great expectations for you as well. I want to emphasize that along your journey, should you ever need anything, please do not hesitate to reach out. I will be meeting everyone who is going to be participating in the launch experience during that 2-day period. And I do look forward to that. I think it's a great opportunity for you to meet us and to get to know one another as well. I didn't notice that we had an adjective for Dean Lorenzette. So we're going to have to work on that.
Yeah.
I mean, not a celebrity. Maybe we'll say the intrepid Stephen Lorenzette. I don't know. In any case, students, look forward to meeting you in person. Thank you for allowing me this opportunity to join you tonight. I'm sure that you'll learn a lot this evening, and I would, once again, without being too repetitive, encourage you to ask questions. Thank you, everyone. I see somebody said, is there audio?
Oh. So sorry. So I just want to do, before we go to Dean Lorenzette to speak, I just want to confirm if everybody is able to hear us. If everybody who is able to hear us can type in the chat box. Yep.
Okay, good.
I'm seeing. Okay, excellent. All right. So now we're going to go ahead and transition over to the program overview. Specifically, this section will be, Dean Lorenzette will be speaking. Steve, are you there?
Yep, I'm here, and I didn't work on any adjective for myself, so I'll be better prepared next time.
All right. Without further ado.
Yep, thank you. Alfred, you might have to advance the slide for me, though, I think.
Okay.
So if you would, I tried to take over as presenter, and it looks like it won't let me advance the slide.
Understood.
Any luck on your side?
Yes. So so now we're looking at the would you like me to do the MBA at a glance, or we can do the MBA with the concentrations?
Let's see. Interesting. You can do the concentrations, please.
Okay.
For some reason, on my end, I just lost the visual, but that's okay. I think I have the presentation here, so I'll work from mine and just ask you to advance, please.
Okay, understood.
Okay, very good. So I'm at the concentrations. So wonderful. So thank you for the help, Alfred, and thank you for the introduction. And it's nice to be with everyone tonight.
You know what? I'm so sorry. One moment. It appears we lost the visual of the PowerPoint. So let me just go ahead and try to pull that back up.
Yeah, I had the same thing happen.
Understood.
So, all right, thanks.
I apologize, everybody. One moment.
Yep, you got it.
Okay.
Great, perfect.
Should be
Thanks,
back.
Alfred.
Yep, absolutely.
So it's nice to be with everybody tonight, and it's nice to have an opportunity to connect with you a little bit and welcome all of you. So welcome to the MBA program, or if you are a certificate student, welcome to the certificate program. I'm going to talk to you briefly about some of the structure of the MBA, and then also give you a little brief introduction to what the launch experience course that you're enrolled in is going to be like as well. So as it relates to the MBA, let me start with the concentrations. You can see the 8 that we have listed there. I like to sort of explain it to people or frame it in a way that says, in terms of what I would consider some of the classic or foundational elements of business, like accounting and finance and IT and management and marketing, we have just about everything that you would want in terms of the ability to concentrate in those key foundational areas. At the same time, we have some really nice niche or more specialized and emerging sorts of areas. Well, I guess supply chain, I wouldn't even call it emerging anymore, but real niche and specialized areas like supply chain, like sport management, and international business. So in terms of a wealth of options and choice for concentration, we're really happy to have the range that we have. So most of you, practically all of you probably, who pursue the MBA will choose one of these 8 concentrations. So you'll have plenty of time to get into them in more depth as you make your way through the program. The only comment I'll make to you for now is they are all 4-course concentrations with the exception of accounting. So accounting is a 5-course concentration. It's 15 credits, 5 3-credit courses. The other 7 are 12 credit concentrations, so they are 4 3-credit courses. And when we go through the structure of the MBA program in just a moment, I'll talk to you a little further about how you'll fit in your concentration into your overall MBA program. So Alfred, if you would advance this, please.
Yep.
Thank you. So what you'll see here in terms of the MBA at a glance, and then we'll get more specific in just a moment, 40 credit program, 17 courses, and that is broken out into 25 credits of required core. All of the students, regardless of concentration, all take 25 credits of core coursework. That coursework spans foundational elements of business like management, accounting, marketing, finance, IT, statistics, a range of areas, but sort of foundational key elements of business. And one of the things that core has, which I'll get into more in a moment, is 2 bookends. A kickoff course, the launch experience, which is, I think, a rather unique element of our program. And then our capstone or our consulting course, which is the bookend on the back end when you're finishing your program, which is also a rather unique element of the program. And I'll give you a little more detail on both in just a moment. But in addition to our core, there are 15 credits of electives. And as I said, most concentrations will require you to take 12 credits of electives, and then you'll have 3 credits of elective to choose whatever you want, with the exception of accounting that has all 15 credits devoted to accounting. And as you saw the 8 concentrations a moment ago, as it relates to the delivery of our courses, they are the core courses, the 25 credits of core, with the exception of the 2 bookends, with the exception of the launch and the capstone course, the consulting course. They are all in 7-week format, offered 6 terms per year, meaning what happens is there is a fall A term for 7 weeks, a fall B term for 7 weeks, spring A, spring B, summer A, summer B. All of the core, with the exception of the consulting course at the end of the program, are all 2-credit courses. And they are offered in a variety of formats, from fully online in some cases to fully in class in others, to a hybrid model that combines some class meetings with online content as well. Alfred, next slide, please. Thank you. So this gives us a little bit more depth in terms of curriculum structure. For students who are coming to us with a non-business background, so they have an undergraduate degree in philosophy or history or psychology or whatever the area might be, the students who don't have a recent undergraduate background in business will take a series of self-paced, what we call PQ or pre-qualification courses. These can be waived based on your business background, as in your business courses background that you may or may not have taken. But for those who don't have the background in all or some of the courses that we think are key foundational areas, you'll take these 0-credit self-paced online courses. And these are intended to get you up to speed so that you have a solid foundation of courses. And if you have that, a solid foundation in these key areas. So all of them, as I mentioned, are self-paced. They're all online. The one exception to self-paced, I would say, is the accounting pre-qualifier. That one has a little bit more structure to it and timelines associated with it. But for the most part, all of our PQs that get you ready to enter the MBA are self-paced. And again, if you have a recent undergrad business degree, you will probably waive most, if not all, of these courses. If you don't, you'll probably need to take these courses. And since all of you have received your admissions packets to the MBA, you got a PQ waiver form telling you which courses you need to take in the PQs and which were waived. In terms of the launch experience, that is the course that myself and Professor Lily Sang teach together. And what's really nice about it is that you will see we get an awful lot of help. So there is a wide range of what we call assessors or coaches who will join us for this course. And that will consist of Stillman faculty members, Stillman administration, as well as Stillman alumni. And so it is a really immersive, I think, very engaging experience, the bulk of which happens over a weekend, although there are some additional components. All of you should be registered for the course and have received communications from me and Professor Sang about the structure of the course. The most of the course is going to happen over September 7th and 8th with several follow-up assignments after that. But it's going to be a really in-depth look from a strategic management perspective at our spotlight company for the year, and that is ADP. And I'll talk about ADP more in a moment. But in addition to the launch, you get another 20 credits of core, and all or nearly all of those courses will incorporate the spotlight company. What's kind of unique or nice about the MBA is that each year it chooses a different spotlight company. So 2 years ago it was Stryker, last year it was Walmart, this year it's ADP, a nice local company for us to work with this go round. And so your core courses, while won't focus entirely on ADP, most of them will incorporate elements of ADP as a way for you to see, well, here are how all of these business disciplines exist and function within the same company. So it's kind of a nice unifying thread of the program each year that the core courses will have elements of the Spotlight Company built into them. The exception is the launch course. The launch course does not just build elements of the Spotlight into it. The launch course really focuses heavily on the Spotlight Company. So you will do a lot of in-depth analysis in the launch experience weekend from a strategic management standpoint, and you'll be preparing presentations together and making recommendations about the future of ADP. It's a very challenging, engaging, fun weekend experience, and you'll be hearing a lot more about it from Lily, from Professor Sang, and from me as you make your way into that course. And then the last two things I want to mention on this slide, one I've touched on a little bit already, the concentration and the electives. Remember that the program has 25 credits of core and 15 credits of electives. And for nearly all of you, you'll take 12 credits of electives in your concentration area and 3 credits in anything you want. And I saw one of the comments, and Alfred, thank you for answering it. People who are already well immersed and engaged in their professional career, we do not require them to complete a concentration. For all other students, we require you to complete a concentration. So the vast majority of you will be taking a concentration. There'll be a handful of you possibly who will not. But in general, your electives are used to fill your concentration, and then most of you will have one extra elective course that you can choose what area you'd like to study. And then lastly, the final course, or the final core course in the program, the Business Consulting Capstone course. I think this is a really unique and distinctive feature of the program as well. It is you working with the client. So we have a faculty member who is always working with the students, acting as professor of record for the course. But the bulk of the course is the students with faculty supervision engaging with the client to solve a business problem for that client. And so it is and Dean Strasser mentioned the idea of our focus on concepts to practice. This is a classic example of concepts to practice. Here you are taking the concept that you have learned throughout the MBA program and applying it into a client who has partnered with the business school to try to solve a business problem that they're having. And we have had small organizations, large organizations, mid-sized organizations, a whole range. So you'll be working with a client and working with that client throughout the semester to try to focus on a business challenge or problem they're facing and making recommendations and gathering data for them on how they could approach or succeed through that problem. Alfred, next slide, please.
Absolutely. And Steve, there is one question that just came in from Anthony. Anthony's asking, are all courses offered each semester, spring, summer, fall, in either A or B term, or are some only offered specific semesters?
Thank you, thank you. So, Anthony, it's a good question, and the answer is the core, meaning those 25 credits, are offered pretty much every fall and spring. There might be an off case where you'd see one course in the core not offered in one semester, but that would be pretty unusual. In fall and spring, we offer just about the entire core. In the summer, we will offer elements of the core. We won't offer all of it, but we'll offer elements of the core. And then electives in the program run on a schedule where, yes, I see the question, you can select 2 concentrations. But the concentration courses and electives, not every single elective runs every semester, but I am pleased to say there is a nice range of electives that run each semester. You'll routinely see electives in finance, accounting, marketing, management, supply chain, IT, each semester in the program. In terms of the slide here, the launch experience, Alfred, nice job, by the way. ADP has always been thought of as automatic data processing, but recently, very recently, has rebranded themselves for their 70th year, as always designing for people. And so ADP is a New Jersey-based company with a headquarters in Roseland, New Jersey, not very far from us at all, that does a lot of HR solutions and people solutions. I think most people probably know them best for payroll, but what you will find when you take the launch experience is that ADP also has a lot of additional HR solutions and business type solutions that it offers to its clients. It is I think most people probably don't know enough detail about it. It's a surprisingly healthy, surprisingly interesting company that I think you will find a lot of fun, and you'll see that they are really making a push to becoming, in many ways they already are a technology company, but to become an even more tech-focused company than they even have been in the past. So I think they will make for a really interesting spotlight company throughout the year in the MBA program, but also for the launch experience course where you'll do so much to focus on ADP. You'll have a really nice company and a really interesting experience working with them. And then one additional point to note with the launch experience, our events. So the kickoff weekend is on September 7th and on September 8th. So Saturday, September 7th, we'll ask all of you to, you'll see this in the syllabus for the course, we'll ask all of you to get to campus by 1 o'clock. We'll be doing check-in and a few other things, and Professor Sang and I will kick off the course at 1:30. So we're going to go roughly 1:30 to 5, maybe 5:15. It's a chance for Professor Sang and I to walk you through the course in more detail, to discuss the content in the readings that you have assigned to you to complete in advance of the launch experience weekend, and for us to get you ready for the full day on Sunday. And then that evening, there'll be a reception on campus that will be a really nice social and networking event. And all of that will get you geared up for the full day on Sunday the 8th. And on the 8th, we'll ask you to arrive no later than 8:30. We're going to get kicked off in earnest at 9 o'clock, but we'll have breakfast and things for you at 8:30. And that day, you'll have a chance to have assessors and coaches working with you throughout the morning session, and then have different, sometimes the same, but often different assessor working with you in the afternoon when you make your presentation. So you'll be getting evaluation using the rubrics that we have already shared with you for your work in the morning, as well as your presentations in the afternoon. You'll have a nice opportunity to connect with and receive some feedback from Stillman faculty, Stillman administrators, and Stillman alumni throughout that weekend Sunday experience. And in general, I think you're just going to find it to be a really challenging, yet really immersive and engaging and fun experience. And as you see listed there, the graded assignments for that course, and we'll go through this in much more depth with you the weekend of the course. But the presentation, the work that you do on Sunday, as well as the presentation that you will make Sunday afternoon, there will be a reflection paper where you will use the feedback that you receive on the rubrics from your assessors in addition to your own assessment of your performance. And so you'll do a little multi-rater feedback reflection paper where you reflect on your performance, reflect on the performance evaluations given to you by your assessors and coaches. And then we're going to do two other things. There will be an ethics element built into that weekend. And normally, or in many cases, we'll focus on our spotlight company. But in this case, because ADP is such a data company, and because data and data sharing has become so prevalent and such an interesting topic, We've chosen to focus on Facebook for our ethics case. And so we'll introduce a bunch of information to you on the launch weekend, and you'll have an ethics assignment associated with the material we share with you that weekend. And then lastly, you'll have a paper to write for us on academic and career planning. So we will, at the very outset of your program in your first course, try to set you on a path for academic success and get you thinking about your long-term career success as well. I see some additional questions coming in. The last one there on attire required for the experience. Business casual is fine. I'll leave it to you to decide business casual. I'm not going to I won't be a fashion consultant because I probably am out of my league when I try that, but I will say business casual. So for all of you and your view on what that is, something that is professional but doesn't have to be completely buttoned up for the weekend.
And we actually
and the question of, are you required to concentrate your MBA if you are doing a dual degree program? There are some programs that are dual degree that will require it and some that won't, where it's optional. So Corey, on that one, here's what I'm going to say. Please come and see me. You won't be able to miss me over the launch experience weekend. So just come see me that weekend and we can talk a little about your specific case, and I'll walk you through the intricacies of whether you're required or not required and what your options are.
Great. Any additional questions for Dean Lorenzetti?
Alfred, there's one on there about, do we need a parking pass for the weekend?
No, you can get a visitor pass, especially for our online students. If you're an online MBA student, simply get a visitor pass for that weekend. You can get that at the security gate.
Great. The last thing I'll say then, I mean, if there are more questions, of course, I'm happy to answer them. But the main thing I'll say is, I know Professor Sang feels this way, as do I. We are very much looking forward to connecting with you over the launch experience weekend and working with you through that weekend, as well as the additional meetings that we'll have together throughout the course. And the additional meetings, by the way, after the launch weekend are going to be Skype for Business sessions, so they'll be online sessions. But it'll be a fun weekend. Can't wait to see you and look forward to getting to know all of you better. Alfred, thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. All right. So now, as thank you, Dean Lorenzetti. So now, as promised, the celebrity guest appearance. Susan Sherrick-Hines, who is an instructor within the Department of Management, is the director of our Entrepreneurship Center here at Seton Hall University Stillman School of Business, would like to talk to you a little bit more about the center itself. And also, I'm giving a shameless plug to her entrepreneurship course being hosted this fall semester. Just to give a little bit of a plug on the course itself, if anybody joining us tonight is interested, if they have a Wednesday night open and available, and they are interested in taking a 3-credit-hour course, either as a part of their concentration, which would be for management concentrations, or alternatively, as a course that could go towards an elective. Again, as Dean Lorenzetti had said, everybody here, with exception to MBA and accounting students, would have an elective course to be able to pursue. So this course, BMGT 7540 Entrepreneurship, is being offered on Wednesday nights at 6:30 p.m. It's a 3-credit-hour course, and there is no prerequisites associated with the course. Again, it's a fabulous opportunity to go ahead and tackle a 3-credit-hour course, potentially in your first or second semester. I know some of you joining us tonight are students that started in the summer. So by all means, this entrepreneurship course could be a great option. There's still time to register for it, and again, it's going to be Wednesday nights. But without further ado, let me go ahead and transition over to Susan Sherrick-Hines.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Seton Hall. It is an honor to be here and talk to you. As you're studying, we're doing a lot of studying of ADP and a lot of corporate business that you'll be looking at. But I just want to let you know that for those of you who are also interested in entrepreneurship or even intrapreneurship, which is entrepreneurship within a large corporation, don't overlook the Center for Entrepreneurial Studies. If you are running a business on the side or running a business now, we can be a resource for you. We provide mentoring. We're going to be providing a whole series of workshops workshops all year. We just are launching an accelerator makerspace, and of which we were holding workshops. We have guest speakers and entrepreneurships. We'll make sure that we let you know all about these things, and it's something that everyone needs, is an entrepreneurial mindset. And we just want to let you know, with all the array of courses and programs and the launch experience, that you can also be exposed to entrepreneurship during your MBA. And I also look forward to meeting you during the launch experience, as I will be one of the instructor participants in that as well. So welcome to Seton Hall. Good luck with your MBA, and I know you will have an enriching and exciting experience here. Welcome.
Thank you, thank you. So now I'm going to just briefly speak to you about specifically the career services. The reason why I'm going to go over this rather quickly is that Bob Franco, who is the Associate Director at the Career Center, will be in attendance at the launch experience, and he too will be giving a presentation on the Career Services Office and all the various resources that they have available to you. Number one, they offer one-on-one advising appointments. They also host career fairs both in the fall as well as the spring semester. They host a variety of networking events. We also do two here at Stillman School of Business. Some of you might be familiar with Beta Alpha Psi. That's the Honor Society for Accounting, Finance, and Information Technology Management students. The networking events can include the big four accounting firms. They can include finance networking events, networking organizations specifically for sports and media. During these events, we invite alumni as well as friends of the university to come and mix and mingle with our students. We also have something called Navigator. Navigator is the unique job portal to Seton Hall students. You can access this today in PirateNet if you so choose to see any job postings or internship opportunities. In addition, again, I just want to make sure to plug Bob Franco's information. His email address is robert.franco@shu.edu. He will be at the launch experience, and you can see his email and phone number there. But it's never too soon to begin dialogue with the Career Center. Definitely schedule an appointment, participate in a resume workshop, speak with Bob about what your ultimate goals are, what you're hoping to get out of this degree, and which industries you're hoping to target following this journey. So again, I can't stress taking advantage of the Career Center enough. And now, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and transition over to Imran, and Imran's going to talk to you about pre-qualification courses. Many of you have received quite a bit of information from us as it relates to that. I know that we assisted you with the course registration process initially and making sure you understood exactly what courses that you'll need and which PQs you should be registered for, but it's helpful to go over it again as it relates to orientation. So Imran will be discussing, but before I transition to Imran, because I have a tendency to quickly ramrod through to the next section, are there any questions? All right, brilliant. So without further ado, Imran, the floor is... Oh, actually, I'm so sorry. There is a question. If we want to register for a course, is it the same process as registering for undergrad courses on PirateNet? Yes, that is correct. The processes will be identical. The only difference is when you are an MBA student, and what I mean is an MBA student where you've transitioned fully to the MBA program and you're no longer taking undergraduate courses, you'll no longer require a PIN to register. Those of you joining, and Imran's going to be discussing this, those of you that are joining the program as a certificate or non-matriculated student, you will require a PIN number to register each semester. The Graduate Admissions Office will provide you the PIN number. Imran will be detailing that shortly, though. And then just to make sure there was no other questions I might have missed. Excellent. Okay. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is, oh, actually there's one more. What should we do if the two follow-up launch experience sessions are scheduled the same time as another class? That would actually be impossible, and the reason why I'm saying that is because there's only two I shouldn't say that. Charles, are you referring to the 2 follow-up launch experience sessions after Saturday and Sunday? Got it. They do typically offer, and I don't believe I'm mistaken on that, and you can send me an email separately, but they do offer both an on-campus opportunity for a follow-up and a virtual opportunity. The reason for the virtual opportunity is because even online MBA students are required to come to the launch experience, come to campus. I've had students come as far as Maine and California to this event. So we aren't going to ask them to come again. We offer a virtual follow-up opportunity. So I think it shouldn't conflict because you could have a virtual opportunity to attend. The follow-ups would be included. That's a great question, Erica. They would be included in your syllabus housed in Blackboard. My pleasure. So, and these are excellent questions, guys. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is turn the floor over to Imran, and he's going to just talk you through PQs and general academic advising protocols, and then we will do a PirateNet overview. Imran?
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Stillman School of Business. So I'm going to go over the pre-qualification courses. So we have 7 pre-qualification courses. Now, most students ask me, why do I have to take this pre-qualification course? We just want you to know that the pre-qualification courses are not meant to be a hurdle for you. They are meant to run in sequence with your studies here. And it's really designed to help you and give you that strong foundation that you need. It's really a primer sort of to the course. It's going to provide you with a lot of the key basic information, key theories, key terminology, stuff like that. Now, all of them are 7 weeks long. They are all self-paced except for the accounting PQ, as Dean Lorenzet had previously stated. So what happens is when you apply to us, we got your transcripts and we took your transcripts and we evaluated them. Now we have a 5-year look back period for the pre-qualification courses. What that means is that if you took any one of the courses in your undergraduate studies before the 5-year look back period, then it will not be eligible for the PQ waiver. If it was within the 5 years, then it should have been applied. It all depends on specifically the course you took. And if you think there was a course that you took that should have gotten a pre-qualification waiver, we can also discuss that. You can email the office and we can look into that more for you. So when you were admitted, the Student Information Office provided you with an information packet. Within that information packet, you should have gotten the PQ waiver form. In that form, it explains to you what pre-qualification courses you will be required to take and which ones you're waived from. Now, you do have the option to take a challenge exam. So the challenge exams are only for the pre-qualification courses that you are required to take with us. To schedule the challenge exam, you would have to contact the Student Information Office. The challenge exam costs $60, and it's approximately 2 hours long. You have to come to campus to take it, though. So if you are interested in taking a pre-qualification challenge exam, you will have to make your way to South Orange to take that challenge exam. Now, if you do not pass the challenge exam, it's not a big deal. You will then be required to take the pre-qualification course. The challenge exam is not held against you. It's not on your transcript. No one ever finds out about it except for the office. So there is no really harm in trying. If you think that you are proficient in the subject matter, we do suggest you do come take the challenge exam. We do suggest that if you do want to take the challenge exam, that you take it before the pre-qualification course. If you do take the pre-qualification course first, you will no longer be eligible to take the challenge exam. Okay, so now we're going to move over to the next slide. Okay, so what you're looking at here is that PQ waiver memo. Now, everyone should have received one. This is going to highlight what waivers you are eligible for and which ones you are not eligible for. Obviously, it says required. That means you will have to take the pre-qualification course or the exam. If you're waived, then you are not required to take that. All right, so here's some things to note, everyone. Financial decision making is one of the core classes. It has a PQ requirement of the finance and also two core requisites of IT management and quantitative analysis business decision making. So you have to be a little bit strategic, and when you register for this course, you must have the PQ already done, and then you must also be taking the IT management or quantitative analysis course, or have already taken them in the past. So you have to take it either simultaneously or it must be taken previously. And also the IT management has a PQ, and the quantitative analysis has two PQs, which is math and statistics. So in essence, if you are required to take all of the PQs, you will have to take essentially 4 PQs before you can even get to this course. Now, the certificate and non-matriculated students, they do need a PIN from graduate admissions. Every semester, we will send you out a form. The form will give you some recommendations on what courses you may want to take. You will fill out that form, sign it, and send it back to us, and then we will release your PIN. So please make sure that you contact the Office of Graduate Admissions when the registration period begins. This way you can obtain your PIN. Now, the students can contact the Student Information Office for more questions about registration. They are the experts when it comes to registering for courses. Students are required to complete 20 hours of the volunteer work thing. That is called the MBA service project. You can do that as soon as you start the MBA program, or you could do later on, but it is required for everyone that is going to graduate with the MBA degree. Now, students do complete their capstone during their last semester. I know that Dean Lorenzette spoke about that in detail. You are going to be working directly with an organization and helping them solve some business problems. Now, courses in the section WY are only for online students. I know that's a little vague at this time. I am going to show you what that is when we go over the PirateNet overview. Just so you know that the WY section is specifically for online students. If you are an on-campus student, please do not register for the WY section. We don't want you to have any problems with being dropped out of that course later. Now, everyone in the MBA program must maintain a GPA of 3.0. This is sort of why we want students, usually when we admit students, we have a 3.0 that we're looking at when we're admitting them. And now the reason why we have a 3.0 is that this is the cutoff period. If you go below a 3.0, you will be put on probation. So you must maintain a 3.0 throughout your entire journey with us during the MBA program. If you do not have a 3.0, you may be required to retake a course at the end. Now we're going to go to the PirateNet overview. I'm going to switch over my monitor this time so you can see actually my desktop. All right, everyone. So I'm going to give you a quick overview here. I'm going to talk about some of the resources and some of these applications that I personally use while I've been here. So Microsoft Office 365 Calendar, Office OneDrive, Mail, SharePoint, People. This is your 365 Microsoft Office suite with us. We do provide that to all students. I'm sure many of you are already familiar with this stuff, but the calendar is where you would keep some important events. The OneDrive is the cloud drive that we offer to students. Microsoft Office 365 Mail, this is very important. This is where you will be receiving all of your mail that comes in from the professors and all the university mail. So this is how you check your Seton Hall mail account. I do suggest that you periodically check your mail account every week. I check it actually daily. You want to make sure you're on top of any messages coming from the professors or any announcements being made. You can also, I just make this as a suggestion, but I forward it also to my personal email account. I have mail forwarding set up. It's a little easier for me to be able to check my mail using my phone. Even with that, though, I do still suggest that you check into Microsoft Office 365 Mail directly by clicking on this icon, because sometimes you may miss something with the mail forwarding service, so you want to make sure that there's nothing that you've missed. SharePoint is where you can share different kind of files and stuff like that, different kinds of assignments if you're doing some group projects. Microsoft 365 People, this is to be able to communicate with different students, colleagues throughout your studies here. Now we have pirate alert. This is where you're going to set up your, you're going to give an alternative phone number here, maybe alternative email account. This is where you'll receive text messages from the university regarding closings, weather alerts, any emergency alerts, stuff like that. So I definitely suggest that you make sure you set up the pirate alert using this icon. Make sure you provide them with your number so they can text you if they need to, and an alternative email in case your Seton Hall email is down or you can't access it. So I'm really quickly going to go over some other stuff. So this is LinkedIn Learning. We do offer this free to students. It's something that you should take advantage of. Now Blackboard, everybody sort of be familiar with this. If you aren't, you know, I'll just go over it really quickly, but I'm sure most of you have already seen Blackboard if you did your undergraduate studies here. So this is the Blackboard main dashboard. And here you'll see all the classes that you're taking. When you click on each one of these individual classes, it will actually take you to the actual home page for that course. So this is the course shell on Blackboard for this specific course. On the left side, it's not populated yet because the course hasn't begun. But once the course starts, you're going to see a whole bunch of stuff here on the left. It's going to give you stuff like content, assignments, exams. Some of them have week-by-week schedules. You're also going to see discussion board here. You're going to see grades. You're going to see different kind of, different kind of options that you have for that specific course. So, please make sure you log into Blackboard. Blackboard is also going to give you any announcements that you have, and make sure you check into all those courses individually so you can see what's going on. So New Park here, really quick, what New Park is it's our online way of being able to register your vehicle with Seton Hall. So if you're an online student, this is not applicable to you, but if you are an on-campus student, you do want to go to New Park and you want to make sure you have a parking permit. Now the vehicles at Seton Hall will be scanned automatically by cars. We have the security patrol here is set up with now automatic license readers, so they will be able to tell if you have a parking permit or not, and the system will flag your car if you don't. So I do suggest that you do make sure that you register with New Park and that your car is registered, and this way you will avoid any kind of tickets in the future. So let's really quick go over to Banner. This is one of the main functions here. Let's see, I'm logging in now. Yep. So Banner is very important. This is the main platform through which you will be registering for courses. You will be updating your personal information. You'll be able to see your financial aid awards. You'll be able to accept your financial aid awards. You'll be able to see your tuition bill. So there's a lot of features in Banner. Really quick, I'm just going to show you. So if you click on personal information, it's going to allow you to update all your personal info here. When you click on student, this is where you register for courses. Now if you want to see let's say your grades and stuff, you can view grades, you can view your holds, you can view your unofficial transcript, you can also get request enrollment verification if you need, and eventually when your time to graduate, you're going to have to apply for graduation through the system as well. And you can also, change your major. So it's all, you can do it online now. You do not need to come in person to change your major, your concentration. You can change it right here through this system. So let's go back to registration. This is very important here. So this is how you will be registering for courses every semester. The way I do it is that I go to lookup courses, or lookup classes, I'm sorry. And then I go to the term, which is fall 2019. I'm just using this as an example now. Now, for many of you, the core classes are right here. They're MBA, MBA core. This is where you click on and then click on course search. But let's just say you have a management concentration. You'll see management here. If you're a marketing concentration, you'll see specific courses to the marketing concentration here. The same thing when it comes to sports management or IT management right here, BITM. So just for example purposes, we'll go to MBA core. You click on course search, and then let's say we're looking for corporate social responsibility. You click on that view section. Now let's say you're interested in taking this course. Now as you see now here, I'm going to tell you what you're looking at. So the CRN is our internal course number. This is how you're able to identify the course among the other courses with maybe the same name and the same being offered in the same semester. So next is subject, which is BMBA. after that is the actual course number. That's actually the course that you're registering for. BMBA 9451 is the one for corporate social responsibility. NA tells you what section it is. NA means that it's going to be on campus. If you see, like if we were talking about it before, the WY section, you actually see that right here. So now this specifically, the WY section is only for online students. If you are an on-campus student, do not register using the WY section. Use this WX section. The WX section is for students that are going to be on campus. Even though this course is being offered on web-based, it is for on-campus students. We also have the NA, which is actually going to take place on campus. The classroom, I don't believe, has been assigned yet, but actually it is. Here it is. It's Jubilee Hall 112. So that's how you see the location. If it's a web-based course, you see it's web-based. Now, I'm just going to go really across right here so you know what you're looking at. This is the timing that the class meets at 6:30 to 9:50 p.m. It's going to be meeting on Thursdays between August 26th and October 21st. And this tells you the capacity of the course. Most of the courses here are going to be capacity of 30 or less students. We do have a small classroom community here. We do not have more than usually 30 students in each classroom. As you get into your concentration, you actually see a lot more smaller numbers in the classrooms. I remember taking courses where there was only maybe 10 students in my concentration courses. So this class, it looks like it's open actually. This course was full, but it opened up. Somebody must have dropped out of the course.
Which course is it?
Corporate social responsibility. So there is an opening there. If somebody needs it, snatch it up. You know, it is there for you now. There's only one remaining seat. So be quick if you want it. So you'll see, like now, if you look here, it says C. That means the class is closed. If you do want to register, let's say for instance for this course, you would click on select. Make sure there's a checkbox there, and then you will hit register, and then you'll be registered for that course. You actually get a confirmation on the next screen. I'm not doing it yet because I don't want to take this. I don't want to register for this course. But that is the way that you register for courses. So I just wanted to give you a brief highlight about that. And if you go back here, one last thing, you see Shoe Portal. Now, Shoe Portal is sort of like Banner, but everything is put up in a little bit of a more nicer way. It's easier to follow. It's more user-friendly in that sense. But it is basically the same thing. A lot of the stuff you see in Banner will be here. You can use either or. Let's say for instance you click on academics. You're trying to register for a class again. When you click on look up classes, it's actually going to bring you back to Banner. So that's why I really use Banner for everything. It's going to really just redirect me back to Banner for a lot of stuff. But you can use this the same way you use Banner if it's more easier for you. It is more visually pleasing as well. So that's a quick overview of PirateNet. I think we are going to talk about our proctor testing software that we started using. It's called RP Now.
So if you just bear with us one moment, we're going to go ahead and switch views.
I'm gonna ask them if they saw that. Maybe.
Well, it's actually what we're going to do is transition back to the slideshow. But did anybody have any questions for Imran as it relates to the PirateNet overview that he had? I see Merceline asked, can we sign up for a separate Seton Hall email account?
No, so you are given an email account when you become a student here. The email tag can be your short name at shu.edu, or it can be your first name dot last name. Usually it's your first name dot last name at student.shu.edu. But you are usually only given one account. You will have two separate email addresses for it, but they do go to this. They are still linked to the same account. So you can only get one account, but you do get two separate email addresses for it. I just want to make sure that everybody was able to see my PirateNet overview when I was going over it. Can you just somebody please say yes and confirm that they were able to see what I was doing on PirateNet? Perfect. Thank you, guys. Okay, so quickly now we're going to speak about RP Now. This is our remote proctor software. So what happens is if you're taking an exam online and you are required to have a proctored exam, you will be downloading this software. Once you download the RP Now software, you are going to have to scan your ID. You're going to scan your identification card. It can usually, school ID is fine. After that process, you're going to have to make sure you have a webcam on your computer or laptop. You also need to make sure if you have a webcam, you're usually going to have a microphone. So you need to have a microphone and a webcam to be able to use this software properly. If you do not, you will not be able to use the software. So make sure you have that installed already. If you don't, what's going to happen is after you scan your ID, you're going to also scan your room. When you're scanning your room, you want to show the walls. You want to make sure you show your desktop. What the proctor is basically looking for is to make sure that you don't have any papers, if you're not allowed to have papers, if you don't have any notes, any books, any electronic devices out, stuff like that. So if it's not permitted during the exam, make sure it's not in the room. This way, when you do the room scan, everything comes out to be fine. Also, another tip is that these are exams that you're going to be taking through the remote proctor, through this RP Now software. So just the way you would take an exam in the class, you want to make sure that you do not have any interference. You do not have somebody coming into the office, into your house, into your room, wherever you're taking the exam. You want to make sure it's a quiet place. You don't want people disturbing you. You don't want family members walking in. Just the same way if you would take an exam on campus, it's the same kind of, same kind of situation that you want to have at home. You want to make sure that no one walks in on you while you're taking this. That will disrupt the exam process. After you're done taking the exam, you may be required to take a picture or scan your ID again. This will confirm your identity once more, and then after that you close the remote proctor software, and then you're done with the exam. I do suggest you click on the RP Now tutorial there. That tutorial, this PDF will also be sent out to you as a PDF file. This PowerPoint presentation will be sent out as a PDF file. So when you do receive it, you can click on the RP Now tutorial, and it'll show you exactly what's required to make sure you do the exam properly. And just really quick, the reason why we do this is we want to make sure that the exam is administered fairly, that it's done in an ethical way, and that everybody's doing it, in a fair way, and it's being done according to proper school ethics. So we do have a question here. Where do we get those IDs? I am assuming you're speaking about your student ID. Is that correct, Nadia? Yes. So you would get your school ID from the student office here, the student services office. You would have to contact them.
It's in Duffy Hall.
It's in Duffy Hall. You would have to probably come in, take a picture, and then you would be able to get that ID. Now, online students are eligible for the ID, but I think you may have to come in. I do suggest that you contact that office directly just to find out.
Yep. And I will say, so the parking, if you did not get, everybody should have received an email about parking and student IDs after they were accepted. This email might have been sent to you 3 months ago. It might have been sent to you a week ago if you were just recently accepted. But everybody should have gotten an email about parking passes and student IDs if you do just a quick Google search, or a search in your inbox. That being said, if you are an online student, if you're coming from a distance, the unfortunate thing, our card office maintains operating hours during the day. So they don't have evening hours, and I know the vast majority of you are only going to be coming here in the evenings if you do come here in the evenings, and then some of you might be strictly online students, for instance. So to get that student ID, you can email them, and you can email them a passport issue type photo. So as long as you have a photo that's similar to what you would have on a passport or on a driver's license with a plain white background, they should be able to use that to actually get you your ID, and I believe they would also mail it to you, but you'd have to email them directly. And if everybody just Googles Seton Hall University student ID card office, you'll get their information and the frequently asked questions page. Again, you are also welcome to come to the campus during the day, during their operating hours, to go ahead and take the photo and get the ID just handed right to you.
All right, thank you, Alfred. I think my part is done here.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, so
now,
again, thank you, everyone, and welcome to the Stillman family.
All right, so just transitioning right along. Again, I want to say thank you to everybody that's participated tonight. And, I think this is going to be an exciting semester for you. I know the launch experience is always a great class. September 7th and 8th should be, I'm going to say it's going to be a challenging event in some respects, but it's going to be a fun event because you all get to meet one another, and we do have definitely a very diverse audience. So again, on behalf of the Stillman School of Business, I want to say welcome. I want to say congratulations, and I want to say thank you for your time this evening. If you do have any additional questions, there's various resources to contact. The first one, for those of you that are online MBA or students, so you're in the online MBA program, feel free to reach out to the Online Student Services Office. You can also email them at onlinestudentservices@shu.edu. If those of you joining us are on-campus MBA students, or on-campus even certificate students, the Student Information Office is extremely helpful. You can contact them at their phone number, or their email is stillmaninfo@shu.edu. In fact, Dean Lorenzetti heads the Stillman Information Office. And then finally, for those of you that are certificate students joining us tonight, if you're in a certificate in graduate business program, or you're in the non-matriculated program, graduate admissions, which is me, and Delkita, we will be your points of contact as it relates to getting your registration pin, any sort of course schedule advising, anything of that nature. So feel free to contact us at the usual bizgrad@shu.edu. Again, thank you everybody for your time this evening, and I hope you have a wonderful start to the semester, which is going to be August 26th. If you have any follow-up questions, feel free to go ahead and send us an email, or you can send me an email directly. Take care, everybody, and have a wonderful night.